got a problem, Bob. Definitely got a problem. Ooh, a whopping 4 pounds of pressure left over. Thank you so much. What we're doing here is we're playing with the Ambro Controls 870 PSI nitrogen purging kit.
This video is brought to you in part by TruTech Tools. Quality tools, essential support.
All right, guys, so we're on to our second call here. And of course, they're having problems with some of the frozen food, I believe. One of the cake cases are warm. So that's probably gonna be frozen food, most likely. And then there's some deli cases. Which these things are always notorious for leaking, which I think you guys watched me replace a coil on one of these. So over here is a cake case. It's got some sort of defrost system built into it. That ain't good, is it? Okay, yeah, some detectors will false when you put them in there like that. Let's see what she gets when we go to ppm. If it was just a false from change in temperature, it would build up. Oh, looky there. This one actually might be on its own circuit. Oh, yeah, you got a leak in here. Yes, sir. She's not going back down. You've got a leak. Go over here. If I remember right, they've got... Yep, they got a condenser up on top. Sweet. Yeah, we got a problem, Bob. Definitely got a problem. Bob's a name we used to use, guy I used to work with. He was actually the boss. And that was a name we used to use, so we just call everybody Bob now, you know? Up there, these actually open up, so we're at 22 degrees here on this one. We're at 5 degrees on that one. So chances are our real problem's over here, and this is probably what the leak is, and it's leaking everywhere. We'll see which one's higher. There we go. Going to the max. So we got 105. So this is kind of a nice thing about this. 106. 103. And then you come down to this one, much higher. So yeah, the one that's actually warm and the one that's got the highest ppm is where our issue's at. Okay, luckily we've got ourselves a actual divider here, and this is run on 404 and it holds 5.5 pounds. So yeah, this is a little self-contained actually. Let's see if we can put this thing into a defrost, which will be electric, unfortunately. On this one here, these lift up. There we go. And let's go to manual defrost, hit the button. It's Paragon, hold it, boom. Just went into defrost. Oh, it's froze up too a little bit. The actual coil looks to be fairly open. Sensing bulb looks good. That liquid's actually warm. Okay, we've got ice down here, but it's mainly not in the main section of the coil. It's on the top, but it froze above there. How interesting that it's not going off now that I shut her down. So, do we have a leak at the TXV and it pumped down? What exactly is causing our issue here? You gotta be kidding me. Super mode's not working? You gotta be kidding me. Still trapped over here though. This thing should be going berserk. I doubt it's this one. On low, it's not getting too crazy. Alright, you guys seen this area when we changed the compressor, me and Clayton, so we're going to go back over here. The Emerson control is actually controlling, just monitoring that cake case, because that cake case has its own compressor. None of them are flashing, so we can look and see which one alarmed. a ladder here and make it easier. Okay, right there you go. There's defrost pan heater, or pan heater for it. There's the compressor. Go ahead and scan this over up here. See if we get anything up here on it. I think it's pretty obvious. It's probably down below here in the coil. There's a little pump, pumps it up to there, shoots it into there. Okay, there's the pump. That sucks it up from below, it looks like. Probably actuated by some sort of switch. Got the compressor and stuff over here. But yeah, I'm not picking nothing up here. Alright, although this is not the best mode for finding small leaks, it is great for narrowing things down. So we're not getting anything on these end caps or end loops here where you normally would get it. But suspicious side would be over here. That little screen, the cap, a little something. Let's go for the head. It's starting to get more powerful. That filter dryer really is acting a little stupid, ain't it? There you go below it. Something down there is even higher. Definitely high on that little 1/4-inch tube there. I wonder if we got a leak on that 1/4-inch tube. Got some rubbing going on right there. Definitely some rubbing. And you don't want these pipes to touch anything. And if you do, that's where you can really have some major issues. And are we on that piece? Right there's your freaking leak. A bit of zeroing. See if it's on the bottom side of where it was rubbing at. Oh yeah. So let's get closer, zero it. Closer, zero it. Oh yeah. So there must be a rub through. Yep, right there on the bottom. Okay, we sprayed it and I ran my finger underneath of it. And here's plenty of soap. And I'm putting it under there. And usually if I put my finger up against it, it'll blow a bubble out around my finger. But I'm not seeing anything, so we're gonna see if we can see it from the bottom. And we got our little amber torch here. This will make it easy. It's perfect for this. What's crazy is, it must be so small, because guess what? It's still, with that thing set off, something's weird. I don't get this at all. Getting nothing up in here in the coil. Nothing at all. Usually your leaks are down here in this area here. Not picking up anything on any of that. Now, any residual that might have been stuck in this thing is still over here because it's trapped there. You know, and it's running 15 degrees now. Well, 7, but a lot of that has to do with the door. I think, you know, you're basically putting 70 degree here, not really insulated like the windows are. Alright, so there is a sight glass on it. Since I'm not picking up anything anywhere else, I'm going to skim over top of those two pieces where it rubbed through after I pump it down and just recharge it. Okay, got a suction open so we can at least see where we're at. They really made this so nice and easy to do. Whopping 4 pounds of pressure left over. Thank you so much. Well, 5 pounds of pressure shouldn't be that hard to brace against since it's not completely busted through. So let's go ahead and see if we can crawl out of this wonderful situation and get it fixed. Okay, let's go ahead and get this thing going. Basically, I did some basics on how this thing works on the last video, so I'm not going to go into deep detail on it. Basically, it works off of MAP gas, and crank it in. Get your traditional. It doesn't take a lot of pressure, and the oxygen does go a little quick. So like I said, the MAP gas has lasted quite a long time. There we go. See, it doesn't have to be real super strong. Bring that oxygen in. There we go. Simple as that. They do have a smaller handle here. I haven't done a video on yet, but I will hopefully get a chance to show you that. We're just going to skim over top of this thing a little bit here. Get it warmed up. There we go. Put a bead right over top of that thing. Like brand new there on that. There we go. Can't even tell that happened. So I can feel it's right there. Let's see if we can get up underneath here. I'm not running near as hot as what I normally would. I'm kind of like want it to just kind of float around and float down to the bottom side of that. The only thing I don't like is the handle. It's a little awkward. I think I can use my other tips. I think I can switch the whole handle is actually what I would do. You know, just for me, I have a very particular need and a very particular way I like to do things, and this is just awkward to me. It's bigger, and obviously this won't fit my nozzles the way they are, but I think I can make these screw right onto it. If so, then life will be golden. So I think we got all of it there. Let's take a look. See, yep, got it, no problem, perfect. I don't see anything wrong with that other brace joint there. Looks perfectly fine, nothing wrong with that one, so we should be good. I mean, that's, you know, that's pretty nice. And then normally you can't shut off your gas first, but I can get away with it with this. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's not acetylene, I don't know, but you want to make sure you back everything out. I wonder if I'm not leaking a little something, because they're saying that this oxygen should last 40 minutes, I think. 40 minutes of runtime, something like that. And it just didn't seem like I got that, so I never did spray it to see if I was leaking at the bottom. It has an O-ring in there. It's not just brass. But I'll tell you, if you are looking for something smaller for things like this, where you don't want to carry the bigger torch all over the place, it's a pretty cool deal. And then they also have a nitrogen setup too, which I haven't had a chance to show that quite yet. Tell you what, I will throw it at the end of this video. If you want to see the nitrogen setup they've got, it'll be at the very end of this video. And I used it for a mini split, and it worked really good. So, you know, we'll go ahead and release this. Obviously, it had 1 or 2 pounds of pressure on it. There was never a leak to the point where that filter dryer pulled in air, stuff like that. So we're good on that. I'm gonna go grab my pump sprayer. We're gonna melt this out and see if we can reattach that sensor right there, and we'll recharge it. That made it a little easier, didn't it? There we go. Let me put this one back on where it belongs. There we go. Look at that. Just like it belongs. There we go. Put that over here in this corner so it doesn't fall apart. There we go. Now we can check in there for leaks a little bit easier too. We are on super, which is our craziest. Coming in here. Not picking up anything, even on bottom, sides. I just looked it all over. Got down here in the crevices. Checked over these caps because you know usually the distributor tubes take a crap. Back down in there. Okay, let's go over here. Now this will go off, but let's look at the ppm reading now. I've aired it out just a little bit. We're only at 15 now. We were up, I think, 70s or something like that. So yeah, we've dissipated down to nothing. So we're not picking up anything at all in here. So let's go ahead and get this thing recharged, and we'll go help the other guy that showed up. Look for a leak for the rest of the store. Okay, got her back together. good to see that this kicked back on and it's in a negative 5 or 10 inches. Somebody jackaronied with the pressure switch, so that's not working so good, is it? Okay, we're adding to it right now. This try, oh, 311, that's great. So this coil is really dirty. This coil is really dirty. 30-pound suction. Let's go ahead and valve it off on the suction here. I already cut the eyesight all together, and let's see that it shuts off. I kind of set it for about 20 on, about 10 or so off. So let's see what we get here. It goes down. Good deal. Shuts off about 3, 5, somewhere in that ballpark. Not in a negative. Good enough for me. Open her back up. There we go. Boom, back on. One more time. Just to be certain we'll go a little slower this time. Okay. Let's watch it go up slow this time, because usually I use analog for this. I want to make sure that it's going to be below set point, or at the freezer. I want to make sure it stays equivalent to 0 or below. So usually about 20 is fine. We're going slow. Oops, 17, so there we go, good enough. Good deal. There ain't no vibration on the tubes. I don't need to put my split vinyl tubing around it. I'm not too worried about it. At least now it shuts off. God knows that was probably an issue that hadn't been known for a while. And now we got that. What we use there is just some generic pinch off tools. It's not the fancy one I usually use, but it's rounded on both sides there of the jaw. Sometimes you gotta tighten it up a few different times till you finally get it right, but it works good in tighter spots than what the square ones I use that are from Imperial. I like the Imperial ones a little better. So yeah, if you want to see the pressure test kit that they got for that, that's really super small. I'll show that here at the end of the video. Guys, that's going to wrap this one up. If you want to see the nitrogen regulator for the Ambro controls, check that out. It's right after this, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video. Until next time, just check it out. I think you'll like it. It's kind of cool. All right, so we're doing a startup here on some mini splits. Somebody else installed them. I'm just here to do the startup, just to do the flare connections and pressure test, and then just make sure they run. What we're doing here is we're playing with the Ambro Controls 870 PSI nitrogen purging kit. What's nice about this is it's small, it's easy to move around. So even though this case is nice and convenient, it is a little bit big. So what you'd likely do is you're gonna take your nitrogen bottle here, which you do have to purchase the nitrogen bottle from them. It has their own little proprietary type thread device there. You have the regulator right here, all nicely protected. Like I said, this one goes up to 870. Right here, though, it shows it goes up to 1500. Everything I've noticed so far is they're all UL approved. Yeah, UL listed. So usually that means that you've been tested, you know, a little more than some of them. On the back of it, you can see here, it looks like it's an M10 by 1.0. We've got an adapter here, which then allows you to hook to a regular nitrogen tank, so you're not stuck with using that regulator just with one tank of theirs. And that has an O-ring in there. They've got two little tubes here that you can jam into your condensate drains and blow them out, which obviously that one goes for the smaller and this is for the larger. And then it has traditional 1/4-inch flare fittings there. Let's go ahead and screw this on. See what we come up with. Whoop, you heard a little pop. We are right at, we're on the inside's PSI, we're at 1500. So we're on the little lower side of what I get. A lot of ours are 2200. We'll crank the regulator in. Looks like it works. All right, so let's start out at 1500. Let's see what happens when we do a pressure test here on this. Don't mind the Goodman name there. Like I said, some people I know purchased it, installed it, and literally just asked me to do the startup. So yeah, it's a side job, but it's people we know. So we're gonna go ahead and crank this in. We'll take her up to, there is your PSI on the inside. Let's take her up to 300. Let's go to 400, 500. Let's go to 400. It's going up to 420. I could go higher, but I'm really leery about this, especially not being familiar with this Goodman stuff. Yeah, it's Daikin, whatever. There's 450 pounds. Let's go ahead and valve that off. 450, that's what that regulator says right there is 450. The next line would be 500, so there you go. That drained the tank down to almost 1,200 pounds from 1,500. So if you was to take it up to the full 600 that like Mitsubishi wants, obviously it'd be a little bit more. So you get a couple. Obviously this isn't really designed for doing easy on the ground stuff like this. This would be great for above the ceiling, up on a roof where you don't want to carry all the big heavy nitrogen bottles. They also have a torch set that I am also reviewing. So it feels like high quality. It is smooth on the back outside. I'm backing it out, which you should always back out your regulator. And we're right at 450. Let's go ahead and start pressure test on this thing. But yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a nitrogen tank. It's really small, as you can see. Be great for blowing out condensate lines. You can see that it's really heavily welded, and it's obviously some thick metal. It's not refillable. That's the only thing kind of seems wasteful. It says do not refill right here. There's some of the stuff on it, but you can check them out at Ambro. I'm sure Ambro has a website. I'll put the website for Ambro here on the screen right now. And yeah, it's a pretty nice kit. As you can see, it comes with a hose right here. Comes with some extra O-rings. You know, it's convenient, and it comes with some basic instructions. They got a 200, 400, and 870 PSI kit. This will come in handy when I need to do those 600-pound tests. But like I said, I'm not taking a chance of contaminating my refrigerant right now because I don't know what these require far as tests for this particular brand. Like I said, we normally sell Mitsubishi, as you know, when you've seen some of my videos labeled I hate Mitsubishi, and I still hate Mitsubishi, which was the two different videos. Yeah, we did flare fittings with the NAVAC here, which really makes it simple and almost foolproof. And then we used our Hillmore electronic torque wrench. Now we got to get this other one here done, but like I said, that's where we're at. All right, we just sprayed both those fittings. Not seeing anything right now. And we sprayed these down here on bottom. And it does not appear that any of those are leaking. Well, there you go, guys. They got the job done. Made it simple enough. Yeah, it works. It's nice, small, and convenient. And like I said, you're not stuck with just their bottles if you want to use a regular bottle. That's kind of nice. Okay, that one there we've got on vacuum. It's already at 175 and dropping. We'll valve off and make sure that that's holding. And now we're getting ready to do our second pressure test here. This is the slightly bigger unit. This looks like it's an 18,000 BTU. Take her about the same thing. We've got about 700 pounds left. When you're done with it, you back it out. There's a little bit of loss there, not much. Like I said, it looks pretty hefty duty here. It feels like metal on the back. I don't think that's plastic. Pretty nice gauge set. It works, it does the job. Just volume is going to be the only thing against you, but that was the whole reason why you're using it, is to keep it small and compact so that you can get into the tight spots. Otherwise, pretty sweet little kit. There you go. That is the Ambro. Here's product number of 1811555. Nitrogen purging solution based on disposable cylinders, regulator with contents and flow gauges, lightweight and ultra portable. Very nice. There you go.